Connecticut's #1 local news. This is Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Right now, the top 3 at 5. Exclusive video after a multi-state crime ring is busted here in Connecticut. What we're learning about the nationwide scheme that ended right here. A delivery driver accused of sneaking into the homes of unsuspecting college students.
She was awoken by the individual at the foot of her bed.
The disturbing arrest that now has a campus on high alert. And CVS getting ready to close hundreds of stores all across the country. What the move means for customers here in our state. First up right now at 5 o'clock, we start with the Channel 3 exclusive. Suspects here wanted in a nationwide crime spree, taken into custody one by one, right here in Connecticut. Thanks for joining us, everybody. They're accused of ripping off Lowe's stores all across the country.
Yeah, check this out. The suspects, all from Texas, are now facing charges. One was even wanted by the Secret Service. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Marcy Jones joins us live from Southington with some new video of that arrest. Marcy, what can you tell us?
Well, Shantae and Mark, Channel 3 received this body camera footage just a few hours ago, and the most striking part out of all the arrests is actually when an officer takes a few moments to assist a suspect with something that might surprise you. Channel 3 has exclusive videos from the suspects heading into police custody this morning. Southington police sharing this body camera footage of the 3 arrests made stemming from a theft case that broke wide open Wednesday afternoon. The 3 suspects were caught trying to buy $7,000 worth of copper wire with a fraudulent Lowe's account. Things escalated when police zeroed in on the 3 suspects who split up. One was arrested inside of the Lowe's gardening area. Another suspect stopped to talk to an officer, but then took off in his car before getting handcuffed at a nearby Dunkin' Donuts. In the 3rd arrest, officers offered a very human moment to the suspect.
She's on FaceTime.
Letting him FaceTime with his mother, at one point even giving her the directions to Lowe's.
We're at 500 Executive Boulevard. In the location. In Southington.
And a play-by-play of why they were taking her son into custody. Channel 3 spoke with a Lowe's employee who says he's grateful for the swift police action.
They can't be here all the time. There's a lot of stores that are calling them for shoplifting every day. So thank the Lord they caught a couple.
Police say that the Lowe's loss prevention team had tracked these 3 suspects when they tried to pull the same stunt at 2 previous Lowe's stores in Connecticut. Reporting live in Southington, Marcy Jones, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
It is quite a story, the FaceTime and the stop at Dunkin' Donuts, Marcy. Thank you very much for that. Some more breaking news we're following right now from the University of St. Joseph, where Jim Calhoun is stepping down as head basketball coach. The 79-year-old spent most of his coaching career at UConn before coming out of retirement in 2017 to join the basketball program at USJ. He said the time is right now to spend more time with his family. The university president released a statement that says, in part, Coach Calhoun has stayed longer and done more for USJ than I could ever have hoped when we first talked to him about launching our men's basketball team. No student athlete could have had a better coach and advocate. We have a lot more on this story right now on the Channel 3 app.
All right, more breaking news, this time from New London. The police chief has been cleared of wrongdoing after an investigation into sexual harassment. Chief Brian Wright was put on administrative leave after the allegations surfaced last month. But an outside investigation revealed he did nothing wrong, and he has been reinstated by the mayor.
Right now for you at 5 o'clock, lock up and be on alert. This is very scary. That's the message from Quinnipiac University after police say a delivery driver forced his way into one off-campus house and then tried to get into another. Channel 3 New Haven Bureau Chief Matt McFarland has been following the story all day long for us today. He joins us live from the school campus in Hamden with more information. Scary details here, Matt.
Absolutely, Mark. Scary stuff. You know, Hamden police tell us that this suspect targeted 2 young women here at Quinnipiac University after previously coming into contact with them through his job as a food delivery and rideshare app driver. Quinnipiac Public Safety continues to make its presence known on Kimberly Road after Hamden police say this man, 24-year-old Ariel Viana Ribeiro, tried breaking into a house here late Tuesday night.
Hearing the other people that happened nearby is pretty scary.
Police say he ran off when a student living there shined a flashlight in the window. But a short time later, police got called to nearby Westwoods Road, where they say this time he actually got into another student's house through an unlocked back door.
The rear door led to a bedroom where a college student was sleeping. She was awoken by the individual at the foot of her bed.
According to police, the student started to scream and yell, and that's when the suspect took off.
It makes my heart beat pretty fast just because I can't imagine really being in that scenario.
State police eventually apprehended him on I-84 in Southbury. Police adding they found evidence in his car connecting him to the break-in. While police are not sure of his intent, they say he set his sights on these students through his work as a driver for food delivery and rideshare apps.
He was specifically targeting previous customers, college-aged women, that use these services and then would go back and target those specific locations.
Detective Sean Dolan says if you use food delivery services, try to minimize the threat or exposure, like having the food left on the front steps and not coming to the door until the driver has left. Quinnipiac also sent out a letter, not only alerting students to the break-in, but also telling them to take precautions. We have also reminded everyone in our university community to practice good safety habits by always securing their residence, regardless of whether they are home or away, including locking windows and doors and keeping dark areas around their home well lit during the evening.
Now we live off campus but still Quinnipiac owned, so we don't have public safety at our dorm. So for us, we just have to make sure our cars are locked and kind of be more attentive to our surroundings.
Now, Hamden police say they'll be looking to see if Viana Ribeiro is connected to similar cases they've had previously. They've also reached out to neighboring departments and neighboring college as well. He's being held on $50,000 bond, and he's due back in court in January. We're live with the mobile newsroom in Hamden. Matt McFarland, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Okay, Matt, thank you very much. Also, all new for you right now at 5 o'clock. Newington police arrested 2 students accused of calling in a bomb threat to the high school. Now, this incident happened back in September while class was in session. The suspects have not been identified because they're underage. However, both are facing serious charges.
Well, it feels great outside right now. Temperatures are in the 50s and low 60s. We've got the full moon rising in the eastern sky. And later on tonight, a partial eclipse. And it's going to be the longest partial eclipse in more than 500 years. All right, Winstead 62, East Hartford is 60, Old Saybrook is 57, and Norwich is 57. The average high for today for the greater Hartford area is 51. So in parts of the state today, we made it up to 70 degrees, like Danbury got up to 70, and Windsor Locks close at 69. We got that southerly breeze out there that's ushering in the mild air. But we look off to our west, and you can definitely see there's a cold front heading our way. While it's 62 in Hartford, Albany is 49, and it's 46 degrees in Syracuse. And with that front, and most of the rain is behind it, we do have some rain that will change to snow in parts of the state as we go through tonight. Let's check it out with Futurecast. While we're dry at 7, the rain is going to be moving in this evening. And then once we get past midnight, watch what happens in the northwest hills. A little bit of snow at 1 a.m. That shifts to the northeast hills by 3 a.m. And by tomorrow morning, it's going to be gone. There might be a little slush on grassy surfaces in the hills, but that is really about it. But I'll tell you what, we're going to go from well above normal to a little bit below in the temperature department. We'll talk about that coming up in the early warning forecast.
Okay, Bruce, sounds good. Thank you for that. Right now at 5, nearly 1,000 CVS locations will be closing for good. The company points the finger at the rise in online shopping. And Channel 3 Waterbury Bureau Chief Dennis Valera is live at a location in downtown Hartford. And Dennis, how are shoppers feeling about the news?
Shantae, everyone is hoping their CVS is the one not getting the axe. It's still up in the air exactly which locations will be closing, but whether you're here in Hartford or down in Waterbury, everyone is saying it'll be a big loss if their CVS location shuts down.
When I first heard you say that there are going to be 900 stores all told closing, I think I gasped.
When I broke the news to Regina Butler, she was shocked. She's been going to the CVS off Meriden Road in Waterbury for at least 10 years. The same for her sister in Wolcott.
She'll be mortified when she hears this.
900 CVS locations will be closed in the next 3 years, starting in the spring. Regina says she and her husband Patrick have a lot of prescriptions at this location. They also got their COVID-19 vaccinations here. If this location closes, it'll make things inconvenient.
There are no others, especially because this one has a drive-up window, and the closest one would be over on Reedville Drive, which does not have a a window.
The company announced the closures are part of a realignment plan to remodel locations to include more health services. Quinnipiac University's David Cadden says other national chains like Walgreens will likely be making similar moves, changing services in person and online.
We'll see them redesigned. We'll see them provide different services at different locations. And I think we'll see a continued expansion of online retail options, even including virtual medicine, and to be able to secure prescriptions online.
But until that happens, loyal CVS shoppers just hope their store makes the cut to stay open.
It's convenient to me, and you can park on either side of the store, and like they usually have just about everything that I need.
Workers at closed locations will be offered jobs at nearby stores that remain open. Now, right now, there are around 10,000 CVS locations nationwide. Live here in downtown Hartford, Dennis Valera, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Okay, Dennis, thank you very much. Still ahead for you tonight, shocking new allegations in the deadly shooting on the set of that Alec Baldwin movie. Why a crew member is now blaming Baldwin for the deadly mistake.
And Facebook now facing a nationwide investigation. The push for answers into the dangerous effects of social media on children.
That was a highlight of my career, just being able to fly around in these Hurricane Hunter aircraft.
Flying into the heart of a powerful nor'easter as we celebrate Bruce's career. He is taking us along for one of his most memorable assignments. Well, like it or not, scenes like this will be happening. Winter, it's almost here, and pretty soon we'll be dealing with snow and nor'easters.
That's right. And Chief Meteorologist Bruce DePriest has certainly dealt with his share over his 43 years of forecasting weather here.
He probably lost count a long, long time ago. Yeah. Tonight, as we celebrate Bruce's career, he is talking with Mark Dixon about his most memorable assignment, flying right into a winter storm.
All right. Over 40 years, lots of memories, lots of experiences. What would you say over that entire span of time was your most notable, most memorable experience?
I have to say the highlight of my career was the ERICA project back in 1988, 1989. ERICA stands for the Experiment on Rapidly Intensifying Cyclones over the Atlantic. And the way I got into it is I went into a conference in New York City where a professor, Dr. Carl Kreitzberg from Drexel University, was talking about the upcoming ERICA project, and I was asking all kinds of questions during the conference. And at the bus stop, when we were going to our respective places, he stood next to me and I said, "I really enjoyed your talk." And he said, "You're the guy from Connecticut that asked a lot of questions, aren't you?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "How would you like to participate in the ERICA project? You can get a story out of it, and you could also participate as a scientist." So I went back to Channel 3 and pitched it, and it was a go. And the purpose of the ERICA project was to fly into winter storms developing off the east coast of the United States to find out why these storms develop explosively off the coast of New England and can actually disrupt lives to millions and millions of people from New York to Hartford to Boston to Washington, D.C.
So, Bruce, we dug through the archives and found a clip of your report.
The ERICA team investigated 8 Atlantic storms this winter at a cost of $8 million. The workhorse throughout the entire project were these 4-engine turboprops, also used to investigate hurricanes. Channel 3 was involved in the first mission in December and the last mission just yesterday, a flight into Winter Storm Fred off the mid-Atlantic coast. On this mission, I brought my camcorder and captured some incredible sights. The ocean just 1,000 feet below looked ominous with high waves and spray rising many feet into the air. As the team headed into the center of the storm, the weather got very rough, with storm clouds just to our north. Moments later, my camera was jolted by the storm, and everything on board that wasn't tied down was scattered throughout the entire plane. On our way back, we flew above the stormy weather, giving me and others on board time to recover from the rough ride.
That was a highlight of my career, just being able to fly around in these Hurricane Hunter aircraft and investigating winter storms that can be as strong and as bad as a tropical storm or hurricane. And hopefully you make forecasting, be part of a project that make forecasting a bit better.
Boy, that is really something. What a story, what a ride. We are sharing more of your well wishes for Bruce. We're getting so many every day. Cheryl here said, "Congratulations, Bruce. We've been with you for most of those 43 years. You are a gem. Enjoy your well-deserved retirement."
Absolutely. And JoJo says, "You are and will always be my favorite weather guy. I have been watching you over 20 years. We were the blessed ones. Thank you for all the years and all the forecasts. You will be missed." Absolutely.
Now, Channel 3 Early Warning Weather.
Well, that ERICA project certainly was the highlight of my career, and thanks to Mark Dixon for that interview. Mark and I have been a team in the afternoon for you for 18 years, and it's been a fantastic team for sure. All right, let's check out Thanksgiving. A lot of you are concerned about the Wednesday before and also Thanksgiving Day, and there is some conflict among the models, as usual. Now, there's going to be a big ocean storm. This is the GFS showing that we'll be okay on Wednesday, the busy travel day before Thanksgiving. But here's that big ocean storm that, according to the GFS, may retrograde, giving us strong winds and a period of rain on Thanksgiving Day. Meanwhile, the European model is also forecasting dry weather on Wednesday, the busy travel day, but it's keeping the storm a little bit more up toward Nova Scotia and therefore is keeping Thanksgiving Day dry. So let's hope that the European model is the winning solution. But for now, here is the full moon over Torrington. Of course, later on tonight, we have the partial eclipse of the full beaver moon. And we're going to have some rain in between, but later on tonight before dawn, we should start to see the clouds clear out. There's Old Saybrook, where the full moon is shining brightly and reflecting off the water. How beautiful is that? Currently, temperatures are in the 50s and 60s. It's still 63 in Danbury and 63 at Windsor Locks. No records for today, but it was pretty warm with some areas near 70. And while it's 62 in Hartford, it's 49 in Albany and now 43 in Binghamton. And that cold front is going to come sweeping through Connecticut as we go through tonight. And with it, there's some rain. And for some of you that up around Colebrook and Norfolk and even Staffordville. You might even see a little bit of snow in the air later on tonight. So some rain is going to move in this evening. And then as we go through tonight after midnight, the rain will come to an end, long gone by morning. And then as we go through the day tomorrow, the main weather feature will be a gusty northwest wind. It's going to be a lot chillier than it was today. And some of you might even see a passing rain shower, maybe even a wet snow shower in the higher elevations. On ahead to Saturday, plenty of sunshine, maybe a little bit of cloudiness arriving later in the day, but the wind is going to be light. So a good day to get out there and perhaps rake up some leaves. So lows tonight, 35 to 40 for most of us, and highs tomorrow, not the 60s to near 70, but the 40s, mid to upper 40s, maybe a little closer to 50 along the I-95 corridor, but what a difference a day makes. All right, so 47 tomorrow, Saturday, mostly sunny, a low of 25 and a high of 48. And Sunday we'll have mostly cloudy skies. There is a chance for a shower, 54, and then near 60 on Monday with periods of rain, a mild breeze, and then windy and turning colder on Tuesday, a flurry or snow shower. Wednesday we're keeping dry and chilly, and then for Thanksgiving Day right now we're forecasting a chance for rain, but that's iffy. A high near 50. At least there's no snow to disrupt travel. And for the shoreline tomorrow, a high of 48.
Yes, keep it that way, Bruce. 43 years, see what you can do. Okay. Thank you very much. Right now, we have some startling new developments coming out about the deadly shooting on the set of that Alec Baldwin movie. According to a brand new lawsuit filed by a crew member, the script didn't even call for Baldwin to fire a weapon during that particular scene. The film cinematographer was killed and the director was wounded in the shooting that happened last month. The lawsuit claims Baldwin should have assumed the gun was loaded. It is still unclear how a real bullet was even loaded into the weapon, and no arrests have been made.
Certainly a lot of questions about that story. Meanwhile, a death row inmate in Oklahoma will live thanks to an 11th hour decision by the governor there. He granted clemency to Julius Jones just hours before his execution. Jones was sentenced to death more than 20 years ago for murdering a man during a carjacking. Jones had an alibi, and eyewitnesses say he didn't match the description of that suspect. The case has triggered protests around the nation, and Jones's mother pleaded for his release.
Truth will set you free. We talk about justice. Justice for who?
Oklahoma's parole board asked the governor to commute Jones's sentence to life in prison with the possibility of parole.
Still ahead for you right here tonight. You want to get ready to go and possibly wait if you're traveling this holiday season. How Bradley Airport is bracing right now for a major rush, and there is some new advice for travelers this year.
And a potential game changer in the battle against COVID-19, the common medication that could be used to save lives as the pandemic drags on.
A common medicine could actually help reduce the risk of dying from COVID-19. A new study finds evidence that people infected with COVID who were already taking antidepressants like Prozac were 28% less likely to die.
The idea is that there's probably some link between inflammatory and the immune system and serotonin, and maybe these drugs are that's why these drugs might be having an effect.
Now, those taking fluvoxamine and Lovox were 26% less likely to die. The research was just published in JAMA Network Open. Doctors still say vaccines, of course, are the best protection, but the findings could unlock some other treatments down the road.
And also new tonight, Connecticut is getting a big boost in the battle against COVID-19. FEMA announced our state is receiving more than $1 million to help cover the cost of tests. Throughout the pandemic, FEMA has given Connecticut more than $250 million paid for COVID-related expenses.
All right, today we had highs in the mid to upper 60s. It even hit 70 degrees in Danbury. That was the warm spot in the state today, but subtract 20 degrees, and that's what you got for tomorrow. Starting out around 40, reaching 47 inland during the afternoon. It's going to be partly sunny and a gusty wind at times, and the shoreline will start out around 40, perhaps reaching 48 before the day is over. But tomorrow's going to be a mainly dry day. We'll let you know what's in store as we go through the end of the week and the upcoming weekend. It's all coming up on Eyewitness News at 5:30.
When we see you show up with police, you are the police. It doesn't matter whether you...
A very special day of giving today in Newington. Stu Leonard's held their 42nd annual Turkey Brigade. Local firefighters and first responders handed out hundreds of turkeys to local charities and organizations that help the needy.
So these are local homeless shelters. We have lots of churches that we donate to, people that can really give back to the community.
It's a really nice thing they do, that's for sure. Stu Leonard's will provide more than 3,000 turkeys to food insecure people all throughout the region. Now to the big stories for you right now at 5:30, a massive investigation into a social media giant. What our state's top attorney is hoping to uncover from Facebook's parent company.
If we see you show up with police, you are the police. It doesn't matter whether you had a uniform on or not.
To a new data after a local police survey on partnering with social workers. It's only on 3.
Also ahead for you right now, why some local doctors are urging people to wait on booster shots, even though the governor says you should go get it now.
Connecticut's #1 local news. This is Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us right now. First up tonight at 5:30, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram is in the hot seat.
That's right. Connecticut's Attorney General is launching an investigation to see if Meta is breaking the law or putting the public at risk, especially kids.
Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Christian Colon is breaking down what the investigation is trying to find out.
You probably do it every day, scroll by pictures, videos, or join conversations on Facebook groups.
It knows that you like that you'll click on it, so it sends you more.
Attorney General William Tong says the time has come to hold Meta, the parent company of Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, accountable. Officials from California, Florida, Kentucky, Massachusetts, Nebraska, New Jersey, Tennessee, and Vermont are all part of this investigation because from fake news to extreme messaging, Tong says it's bad for adults and worse for the kids.
So you click on things about weight loss and teenage girls, and that can lead to messages that promote bad behavior, right? Like starving yourself, right? Or eating disorders like bulimia. And those are the sorts of things, the bad behaviors, the bad messages that the machine continues to feed young women.
Tong says Facebook knew its platform led to an increase to physical and mental health risks for young people, including depression and suicide. But he says they ignored it in order to keep kids logged on. Now they are hoping this nationwide investigation uncovers how Meta operates and if the company broke any laws.
Under our state's consumer protection laws, Facebook and Instagram and every company, frankly, has an obligation to follow those laws and not to lie to us and not to deceive or engage in unfair practices that do harm to consumers here in Connecticut.
In the meantime, Tong says parents need to be on alert. In a statement, a Meta spokesperson tells us these accusations are false and demonstrate a deep misunderstanding of the facts. While challenges in protecting young people online impact the entire industry, we've led the industry in combating bullying and supporting people struggling with suicidal thoughts, self-injury, and eating disorders. Christian Colon, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Christian, thank you. Also right now, more states approving booster shots for all adults without waiting for the FDA and CDC to approve the plan. New York already did it. New Jersey did it. Now Massachusetts became the latest to give the okay for a booster as breakthrough infections surge across the country. The FDA Advisory Committee is scheduled to meet tomorrow to discuss the matter.
And our state leads the nation in people 12 and up who are vaccinated. Right now, Connecticut's vaccination rate is at 82%. Yale New Haven Health is getting set to start giving out the second shot to the 3,500 kids between 5 and 11 that have been vaccinated in the past few weeks. And while just yesterday, Governor Ned Lamont said anyone over 18 should just go get a booster, local doctors are urging people to be patient.
Before we open it up for widespread use by everybody, I think we should probably wait for that FDA clearance.
The CDC is expected to give final approval for boosters for all adults, not just certain populations, by the end of this week. And there's a vaccine clinic at Central Connecticut State University going on right now. The Vax Fan will be in the Student Center Circle until 6 this evening, offering booster shots for students, staff, and faculty. Anyone looking to get a booster should bring your insurance card and proof of vaccination. And we also have a list of booster and child vaccination clinics available right on the Channel 3 app if you're trying to find a space to get your shot.
All right, check out our iCam from Middletown, capturing what will be the full Beaver Moon on its way up. And good viewing for now. We do have some rain to contend with, but tonight is actually going to be a partial eclipse of the full moon. And it's going to be nearly total, as 97.4% will be covered by the Earth's shadow. So the time goes from 1:02 in the morning till 7:04 tomorrow. That stretch of 6 hours and 2 minutes is the longest stretch in 580 years. So again, we've got some rain to contend with in the early overnight hours. So there is hope to perhaps capture that before the sun rises tomorrow. In the meantime, temperatures, big headline today for the Hartford area, topping out at 69, well above the average high of 51, but not to the point of setting a record. That is 73 degrees for the state. Right now, we've got temps in the upper 50s. Stores, 58, 59, a popular figure coming in from Litchfield, West Haven as well from Berlin. So cooling down a little bit, but the dramatic drop in temperature comes overnight, and we will certainly feel it tomorrow. You can see off to our northwest, temperatures go from the 50s into the 40s. That air is heading in our direction with the passage of a cold front. So eventually we do have some rain to contend with several hours from now. Western Connecticut moving east during the early overnight hours in the hill towns of Northwest and Northeast Connecticut. There's the potential for it to switch over to some snow before ending. Then again, by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, it's done and over. Tomorrow afternoon, a snow shower can't be ruled out in the Northwest Hills. Temperature-wise for our Friday, upper 30s at 7, mid 40s, mid to upper 40s by midday, and that's basically where we hang out temperature-wise during the afternoon. But wind chill values tomorrow, as it is going to be windy. That wind out of the Northwest is going to make it feel more like the 30s throughout much of the day. By tomorrow evening for Friday night football or dinner plans, wherever you may be going, it's going to feel more like sub-freezing in the mid and upper 20s, especially across inland Connecticut. Much more on the weekend and Thanksgiving, all ahead in the early warning 7-day.
Mark, we'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you. Now to an Eyewitness News exclusive tonight. Do local police departments think working with a social worker is feasible?
Well, every police department was required to submit an evaluation by this past February to figure it all out.
Yes, but Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Sharon Johnson dug through the reports and uncovers why a majority of the departments say no.
But we don't need somebody with a gun and arrest powers when our loved one is facing a mental health crisis.
In response to the nationwide protests following the killing of George Floyd in 2020, many activists demanded social workers replace or work with police officers, especially during mental distress calls. The state's police accountability bill asked each municipal police department to, quote, complete an evaluation of the feasibility and potential impact of the use of social workers by the department for the purpose of remotely responding to calls for assistance, responding in person to such calls, or accompanying a police officer on calls. Here's what we found. 24 departments value the idea. 16 departments said they'll consider it if they can receive more resources and do more research. 41 departments said no, citing safety, lack of money, and lack of 24/7 coverage.
Well, my concern is you're going to then have competing senses of what needs to happen next, and that the police officer and social worker may even be at odds.
Quinnipiac University professor Dr. Amber Kelly works with several community groups in New Haven. She says a collaboration could be tricky.
What I have heard from community members is if we see you show up with police, you are the police. It doesn't matter whether you have a uniform on or not.
The Connecticut chapter of the National Association of Social Workers agrees that there could be some obstacles, but recommends all police departments have access to social workers. It also recommends more state funding for those employees and for mental health resources. A majority of police departments requested the same in their evaluations.
We don't want the police to be all things to all people. We want the police to actually be the police. So if we can get mayors and city managers and city councils to reallocate some resources towards mental health, that kind of frees up the police.
Community policing expert Dr. Lorenzo Boyd says working with trained clinicians could make a major difference.
They'll be able to diagnose what's actually going on and be able to de-escalate it a lot differently than the police can.
Police departments suggested several collaboration models in their evaluations. It included embedding social workers in the department, contracting community organizations, and creating multi-town crisis response teams to pool resources.
So it's not only is it feasible, but it's crucial that we do this. We need to move forward with this.
That was Sharon Johnson reporting. Now, as of today, 12 departments have not submitted their evaluation. Coming up tonight on Eyewitness News at 11, find out what the Police Chiefs Association thinks about all this, of departments missing the deadline, and how one department in our state has been partnering with a social worker since 2019.
We are collecting and distributing 51,291 turkeys.
How the Liberty Bank Surprise Squad is talking turkey this week. See what's being done to get more families the food and help they need.
I'm Connor Lewis, live in West Hartford on this gorgeous evening. We were talking about the beautiful weather earlier today, and I was talking to some folks that were playing golf. You're going to hear how they took advantage of this unseasonably warm weather.
And a mega migration, the incredible scene on a small Australian island that includes a crab bridge. Oh, wow. New video you don't want to miss right after the break. Welcome back, everyone. For the first time in 5 years, the leaders of the U.S., Canada, and Mexico are together for a three-way summit. President Biden welcomed the Canadian Prime Minister and Mexican President to the White House today. The so-called Three Amigos plan to discuss migration, tax credits for electric vehicles, and much more. And meanwhile, President Biden was meeting with his North American counterparts. House Democrats spent the day discussing Biden's Build Back Better social spending plan. The House could vote on the $2 trillion bill tonight if Democrats receive the cost analysis from the Congressional Budget Office.
Well, back here at home, the sunshine had golfers out and about on courses today all across Connecticut. It was absolutely beautiful. But with Thanksgiving now just a week away, was today maybe the last chance to get out there and hit the links? Meteorologist Connor Lewis was checking things out for us. He's joining us live right now from West Hartford. Obviously, the sun's down, but still not too bad, Connor.
Oh, yeah, super nice out here. There's a restaurant with the golf club, and there's some people that are eating dinner outside tonight. And like you said, this won't be the last day that we can go golfing for the fall, but another day like this, I mean, I'm not sure if we can see something this nice until next spring. So very nice conditions. Right now, 61 degrees in West Hartford with some clear skies. I'm at Rock Ledge Golf Club, and it was packed earlier. So it wasn't like people weren't able to get a tee time, but all the tee times were taken earlier today. A few hours ago, it was absolutely perfect. The parking lot was full, the skies were blue, and the wind was a bit calmer. I noticed the wind's picking up a little bit right now. Rock Ledge didn't miss a single tee time from 8 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Management says this is the busiest day they've had all fall. Normally, golf courses stay open through Thanksgiving, but 60s this late in the season, that doesn't happen too often.
Perfect. There's no wind, very little, bright sun, open sky. It's like we're in Florida, but we're not.
Saturday is going to be a great day to play golf. It's going to be blue skies, but much cooler. So this was a one and done deal. We're back to the 40s for tomorrow, but great conditions for the beginning of the weekend, nice calm winds. And if you're thinking about booking a tee time, the sooner you do it, the better, because here at Rockledge Golf Club, all the tee times are already booked for Saturday. I'm live in West Hartford. Connor Lewis, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Now, Channel 3 early warning weather.
Yeah, today perhaps you're able to wear shorts or a short sleeve shirt. You'll need the winter layers again tomorrow, as it's going to be much colder and a wind that will really add insult to injury. So for our Friday, highs only in the 40s, wind chill values in the 20s and 30s. At least it will be a bright day, some clouds, perhaps a snow shower or some flurries in the northwest hills. We'll time it out with Futurecast in just a moment. Then for the weekend, as Connor mentioned, a calmer wind on Saturday, bright sunshine, a cold start in the 20s by the afternoon. We'll hit the mid and upper 40s. Then we're back into the 50s on Sunday with increasing cloud cover, chance for some rain later in the day. We start next week, the abbreviated holiday week, on a wet but mild note. Temps near 60, some rain likely, breezy on Monday. Then we got another shot of cold air arriving for Tuesday into Wednesday. Tuesday, perhaps some snow showers, some flurries. Otherwise, Wednesday looking dry as of now, 45 to 50. And let's go ahead and look at Thanksgiving. Here is the GFS, the American model. Start you off Wednesday, of course, a big travel day. We're going to be watching a storm offshore to our east. So Wednesday, as of now, we're forecasting dry weather, sun and clouds, a bit on the windy side. And then on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, this particular model retrogrades or move this storm system back toward the west, meaning that it could bring some rain to southern New England throughout the day on Thanksgiving. So that's just one model run, and keep in mind we are 7 days out. Models will change. We anticipate them to do so. We'll keep you updated as we get closer in time. And again, 7 days out, this is the European model, keeping the wet weather offshore, dry weather for our Thursday. So again, a lot can change between now and then. Hopefully those models come into better agreement over the coming days. Right now, though, we've got a mainly clear sky with our iCam view from Waterbury, capturing the moon on its way up. The full beaver moon tonight, 59 degrees currently in the Brass City. You can see some scattered high clouds across New London, looking skyward toward the moon as well. So we've got temperatures that are dropping through the 60s into the 50s across interior portions of the state, between 55 and 60 right now along the shoreline. Winds are out of the south, 5 to 15 miles an hour. Tomorrow they're going to be much stronger, and they're going to be out of the west and northwest, sending colder air into Connecticut. That colder air right now as close as Albany, where we're already 49, 46 in Syracuse. So as the evening progresses into the overnight hours, that cold air is going to be arriving. We've got some rain associated with that, not far from Connecticut. So in a few hours from now, from west to east, looking for rain to overspread the state. Overnight tonight, you can see a couple specks of blue up near the Massachusetts border. So we could see a brief transition over to a little snow before it's done and over. But by 7 o'clock, the morning commute, not only is the precip done, the clouds have moved out. We'll see some sunshine. And there you can see some of those specks of blue and green in the northwest hills tomorrow afternoon, indicating that chance for a flurry or some sprinkles. Here's a look at wind chill values tomorrow morning. Sub-freezing for many locations, mid and upper 20s throughout the Litchfield Hills. By midday tomorrow, wind chill values in the mid and upper 30s. By Friday night football time tomorrow, back in the 20s and low 30s. Inland as temperatures tomorrow only peak between 45 and 50. Then our Saturday looking quite nice. Sunshine in the morning, clouds increase as we head toward and after sunset. So Saturday's a dry day, 45 to 50, mid 50s on Sunday with some showers possible later in the day.
All right, Mark, thank you very much. We have some new nasty video, if you ask me, that you have to see. This is from Christmas Island in Western Australia. It's the annual crab migration. Thousands of red crustaceans go from the forest to the ocean. To do their business.
Yes. Roads are closed to protect the silly sidewinders. And there are even crab bridges built to help them on their journey. Conservation agents say the island is home to millions of crabs. After mating, all of the crabs return back to the forest until next year.
I mean, I know it's cool, but seeing them all like that is...
No, it's too much for me too. Right now, we want to take you town by town tonight. The 10th annual Holiday Boutique is happening in Farmington right now as we speak. 30 artisans and creators are set up at the Farmington Club today and tomorrow to help you shop small for holiday gifts. Shoppers can also get a bite or a cocktail at the Holiday Boutique Bistro Cash Bar while they're there until 8 tonight and again from noon to 8 tomorrow. Now, proceeds from raffle sales and fees benefit the local nonprofit Amy's Angels.
And heading to New Haven for you tonight, the Gateway Community College Great Center just received an $8,000 grant for some manufacturing scholarships. The money will go toward different manufacturing credentials and certifications to help students advance their careers.
And in Hamden, you can help Connecticut families ahead of Thanksgiving. Right now, the 31st annual KC 101 Stuff a Bus campaign to benefit Connecticut Foodshare will be collecting food until 7 this evening. They're looking for frozen turkeys and other non-perishable food items that will be given out ahead of the holiday, as local food banks are still serving a record number of people.
Really is a very well-oiled machine. Our staff has been working on this for months, literally months.
Still ahead for you right here, helping the helpers. What happened when the Liberty Bank Surprise Squad stopped by Foodshare's turkey distribution?
All right, just a few hours to go with this mild weather. Temperatures go from the 60s into the 50s. We're dry until, say, 8, 9 o'clock. From west to east, rain becomes likely. The rain will be over by daybreak tomorrow, and in the wake of a cold front, it's going to be dramatically colder. Highs back, or I should say lows tomorrow morning to start off the day for the ride to school in the 30s. By the afternoon, only topping out in the mid and upper 40s. The wind will make it feel much colder. Bruce will have the latest on the weekend and what we're thinking for now, at least for Thanksgiving. That's ahead on Eyewitness News at 6.
So many people and so many families are just 1 or 2 paychecks away from finding themselves in a position in which they don't know where their next meal is coming from.
New at 5:30, Connecticut Foodshare is working to collect tens of thousands of turkeys to help feed Connecticut families.
Such a wonderful cause. Thanksgiving is really just a week away right now. Hard to believe. And the need is great this year. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Aya Galal is showing us how the Liberty Bank Surprise Squad is helping with those efforts.
The 10 days leading up to Thanksgiving are the busiest time of year for Connecticut Foodshare. In addition to all of their normal operations, which include feeding 480,000 people across the state, they're also running their Turkey in 30 campaign,
This year we need 51,291 turkeys for the state of Connecticut. So in addition to our normal operations, we are collecting and distributing 51,291 turkeys.
It's certainly not an easy task, but Connecticut Foodshare's Bloomfield warehouse is a well-oiled machine. Inside of the building, boxes of food are packed, and outside, crates are loaded onto delivery trucks. CEO and President Jason Jakubowski tells us Connecticut Foodshare staff and volunteers work with a network of 700 partners statewide.
All 51,000 turkeys are never in the same place at the same time. As we're bringing them in, we're also bringing them out.
We saw an example of that with the Union Baptist Church of Hartford. The church picked up 200 turkeys, which will be distributed throughout the community for Thanksgiving.
Every donation, every monetary gift, it doesn't go unnoticed, and we're very appreciative of it.
Everybody works so hard, and they want to come together and eat together and just be united.
Every dollar donated to Connecticut Foodshare can provide 2 meals for someone in the state.
And there's a lot of people here in the state of Connecticut that are a lot of families that may not have a Thanksgiving. If people like us don't step up to the table and help them.
And we wanted to help Connecticut Foodshare get a little closer to its goal before Thanksgiving.
Good. All right. Well, Jason, so we are here with Channel 3 and also the Liberty Bank Surprise Squad.
Oh, the Liberty Bank Surprise. Oh, see, this was a surprise. I did not know this.
So $1,000 to help feed Connecticut families this year.
Wonderful! Wow, that is fantastic. So, thank you very much. Thank you to all of you guys at WFSB and to our friends at Liberty Bank. This is wonderful, and this will definitely go a long way towards helping us reach our goals.
With the Liberty Bank Surprise Squad in Bloomfield. Aya Galel, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Oh, that is just